First of all, what is inflation? It is sustained rise in price over a period of time. Sustained rise in price over a period can be 1 month, can be 1 year. How can you measure? There is a term, there is a rate which is known as inflation rate, where you actually measure the price in the current period minus price in the previous period divided by the price in the previous period into 100. You get the exact percentage increase of particular good or service with respect to the particular period. Okay. Then what can be the situations for inflation? There can be many situations. One of the situation, when you have supply constant, there would be increase in demand, that can lead to inflation. Second, when you have reduction in supply and demand is constant, there can also be inflation. Third one, when you have decrease in or reduction in supply and increase in demand, there can also be a situation. There can be fourth situation. What? When you have reduction in supply, when you have constant supply, it can be so. When you have when you have increase in supply. Fourth one is when you have increase in supply, there is less demand or demand is constant. That can also lead to different kind of situation that prices may go down, deflation. But the three extreme situations where prices can go up is one, when you have supply constant, demand increases. When you have supply constant, when you have supply reduction and demand rises, or when you have supply reduction and demand increases. Three different extreme situations where prices can. Now there are two major causes of inflation. One is demand pull inflation. What is demand pull inflation? When there is increase in aggregated demand because of certain reasons, that people have money with themselves, so they can demand more. So there is increase in aggregate demand, but the supply is constant for that matter, so it will increase inflation. Number second, when there is increase in cost of materials, raw materials, increase in cost of input, so producer cannot produce more products, so there is reduction in supply, but the demand remains constant. So that type of inflation, where actually the cost influences the inflation, is called as cost push. So there are two different policies vis-a-vis controlling the inflation. One is policy by the government with respect to the finances, expenditure or the revenue, that is called as fiscal policy, like budget, taxation, inflation, etc. Second is the policy with respect to the control of the money by the RBI with its special tools, जिनको हम tools कहते हैं, instruments of monetary policy, that is called as monetary policy. So what happens in fiscal policy में क्या होता है कि fiscal policy दो तरह की होती है. One is expansionary fiscal policy and second one is contraction. In expansionary fiscal policy, government actually increases subsidies and reduces taxation. Why? Because government expects people to have money so that they can make more expenditure. Okay, so this is the situation. In second situation, government expects people have lesser money, so that is why they reduce subsidies and increase taxation. That is called as contraction. In case of demand pull inflation, for example, if the government has come up with a specific policy, expansionary policy, that government increases subsidies. There was a policy, government has increased subsidies and reduced taxation. It actually allowed the people to have money, so they went for demand. So there is demand pull inflation. Now government will come with a new policy to counter that inflation, which is called as contractionary. Here the government will reduce subsidies and increase taxation.